It's a beautiful Tuesday morning from our studio. Say good morning to you wherever you're watching us from. This is West Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? My name is Omotoshola Sharimaki. It's a Tuesday morning. I'm ready to kickstart your day with breakfast content, the educative and entertaining content you will ever come across. Like I said earlier, my name is Omotoshola Sharimaki, and with me is Gossip Beauty Israel. Good morning, Mama.
Good morning, sweetheart.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing this
Fine,
morning?
thank you.
You seem a bit, I don't know, maybe you should say for yourself.
Maybe tired, but I mean, you know what it is now. Doing a normal 9 to 5, it's not easy. I mean, the fact that you're not in Lagos, a very chaotic city.
Right.
What else do you expect?
I think this is the first time we're anchoring together this month. So this is me saying Happy New Month to you. Tell
We
me,
share the
how do you
same.
feel about the second half of the month?
I mean, it's my month here, so
Oh,
I feel
right.
good.
Okay. Yes, we're still in the month of July, the second half of 2024, and I hope 2024 is still your year. Yes, I know you had a lot of plans. You wrote a lot of New Year resolutions, but then it's still July. You can still, edit, make some editing, make some corrections, and then plan, some more. We go on a quick break right now to be back with the remaining part of the program. But if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, click the subscribe button now, like, share, and you know what? Watch our previous episode. We have exciting content for you. Today, Tuesday, is when we get to talk about trending issues. We get to analyze stories in and out of Nigerian newspaper. We also analyze a book for you, but you just need to stick around to the end of the program to enjoy all the content. We go on a quick break right now to be back with the concluding part. With the remaining part, my bad, with the remaining part of the program, please stay with us. We'll be right back shortly. Glad to have you back. You're still on to West Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? And now let's take a look at pages of today's newspaper. Today we've got Vanguard newspaper and the New York Times. From the Vanguard newspaper, there are a lot of exciting stories and not too exciting, but there are lots of headlines here, and I'll start with economic crisis. Slump in port operations puts 40,000 jobs at risk, says investigation. The details of the story says cargo imports dropped by 20%, contained goods 30%, and vehicles 55% as vessels calls reduce. Another story from this same Vanguard newspaper says SDGs 63% of Nigerians still wallow in poverty. Tinubu's aid. Then, right under the headline here, Guaso car attacks. Shetima visits as ACF Southern senators want action against terror. Beside it, the story here says, custom impounds containers load of rifles from Turkey at Honor. On the top corner of the Vanguard newspaper, the major headline there reads, retail sales volume down 50% in 1 year, says supermarket owners. Federal government sacks 3 contractors, Handley Obajana Bini Road. 2024 ad, how federal government and states splash 100.6 billion naira on pilgrims. And then Wike to Keningbe, we will unseat you in 2027. This excuse me, this is the major headline from and that's the major headlines from the Vanguard newspaper. My own the news that caught my attention the most will be that of I take that again, will be that of customs impounded containers load of rifles from Turkey at Orne, and I'm trying to read the details of the story. Just yesterday was in the news where a container, excuse me, a load of container was impounded where they said a dozens of rifles were caught at just a minute. Would you want to take us through the New York Times while I try to load up this?
All right, so the New York Times newspaper, right side of the newspaper has how New York Police Department, that's the NYPD, shuts down officers' discipline cases. All right, Offshore authority is currently used to block several dozen trials in just a year. By the left side, French far right gets big wins. Polling shows in blow to Parkin. Snap votes first round hints at drastic shifts. Bottom right has female fantasy encoded in AI, that's artificial intelligence, in a retro loop. Beneath that, pandemic-era babies are behind in basic skills. They lag academically and developmentally. And by the right side of the newspaper is the last headline on the newspaper, and it says, Biden campaign spent days cleaning up a 90-minute mess. The headline that piqued my interest is the headline that reads, female fantasy encoded in AI in a retro loop. That's the artificial intelligence. So why I picked this as what interests me in all of the headlines on the newspaper, it's because now this article points out that why AI developers aim for these voices to sound natural and human-like. They are often influenced by old-fashioned ideas and stereotypes found in movies. Now, this is me saying that these inventors or AI developers, they have taken that time. You know, if you remember on Friday when we had conversations around the fact that AI is not empathic enough, they don't have human feeling and all of this. But you see developers doing everything possible to start making sure that this AI have those kind of feelings. So even down to ChatGPT, I think the 5.0 or something, they are now making it to be more like have the it's a human sound where sometimes you don't even need to type. So there's one thing I didn't know ChatGPT can do, but it literally did do for me. So what I did was I was working on something and it was written down. So I was like, I don't have enough time. I'm like, having to write everything that is in this paper now down to this down to like typing into the laptop, it's going to be a whole lot of stress for me. So what I did was I took my phone, I snapped it, it was clear. I sent it to ChatGPT, and guess what? Everything that was in that paper, it actually brought it out. And I just slowly put it in tabular form, and it did it. So I'm like, you see, honestly, it just shows that these people are doing everything possible to make sure that everyone is comfortable, everybody is less stressed. Because I mean, having to use that, it made my job a lot more easier for me. You know, I'm already complete with the fact that there's basketballs, there's the whole thing going on social media, the whole thing happening physically. It's a whole lot. So having to now ensure when it just happened, I'm like, okay, ChatGPT be doing this. I love it, honestly. So I want to applaud the developers of this AIs, right? They're doing marvelously well. The only problem I will have now is, you know, when they say try as much as possible that when you're building something, make sure that it doesn't have the kind of ripple effects that would end up killing you, something like that, right? So in as much as we are inventing, we try as much as possible to not go and build something that will end up destroying us. That's the only thing I have to say. So yeah.
When I was listening to your story, a lot of things just popped into my mind.
Okay.
I remember we had a guest that spoke to us about how AI is an assistance, artificial intelligence, and it has not come to take anybody's job, but it has come to help and assist. I know, like you said, you made reference to Friday. Friday, our guest said he doesn't have empathy.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a colleague yesterday, and I said, if there's something I wish I could do was to make AI sound like really human, right? Like I want AI to be able to do like my voiceovers.
That's what is working on right now.
So, and having them work on it, it's so scary. Yeah, I know I wanted it, but now they don't have to pay voiceover artists anymore. They don't have
that's where the laying off of people's job comes in, because so many people were out of job. But if you listen to what Otito said when he came here,
yeah, I remember.
in as much as these things are happening, we should try as much as possible to grow.
with
So
it.
if there's no job as a scriptwriter, I feel like you should be thinking of what next do you think they want to do? What next can I work on? Do you get what I mean? So I mean, I'm a script writer, right? Both skit and movies. But this is me now saying that I've somehow I want to now take a course not just on script writing alone because I want to be like more better, right? I
Yeah.
want to go down to content writing because I mean nowadays, 9 to 5, we love it. But who doesn't want to work remotely,
Right.
please? Do you get what I mean? So yeah, it's just to see the benefits of it, honestly. And me, my own is to just jump on what's going on and yeah, let's
Well,
push
I
it.
like that, and I like the fact that you said when they are trying to create AI, they should also not make it. They should not over empower it. It made me remember an American movie I was there. But then let's go back to the Vanguard newspaper of the story I was trying to do the other time. The details of this story says custom impounds 844 rifles, 112,500 ammunitions and drugs. Here is the detail of the story. The Nigerian Customs Service (NCS) has foiled the importation of a large cache of arms and ammunition hidden in a 40-foot container marked MAEUI 65396 from Turkey. It impounded 844 units of rifles and 112,500 pieces of live ammunition imported via Honor Port in Rivers State. The rifles and ammunition were concealed using various items such as doors, furniture, plumbing fittings, and leather bags. The value of payable duty on the container is about 4 billion 171,700 and oh sorry 4,171,710. The Comptroller General of Customs Adewale Adeniyi said also seized were drugs worth 13.9 billion naira. Adeniyi displayed the weapons at the NTS Port Harcourt area to command yesterday. This is interesting. I saw a movie over the weekend, Oluture, and okay, I like to see movies. Before, when I see a movie, I pay attention to the editing part of the movie. I pay attention to how they're linking the shots. I pay attention to the camera angles, right? But I think right now, I now pay attention to the detailing of the story, and I think more than it. Now, the movie was shot in, I think, in Niger part of, is Niger part of Nigeria?
No.
No, okay, yeah. In Niger and all those up north, what do they call it? Sahel region where there's no much land. And I was asking the question, where did they all get this ammunition? Because it feels like the only trade that sells there is either slave trade, prostitution, and kidnapping people, forcing them to bring money from the people that were in Nigeria. Now, we keep claiming that all these the guns bandits used are not politically backed. They are not politicians backing them. They are not okay. If not politicians, let's use godfathers backing them. How will a normal man in maybe one of these northern states have my bad? This money is billion, 4 point something billion to import ammunitions, about 844 ammunitions that came through Nigeria. They covered it with feather, with leather bags, covered with furnitures and all of that. So a broke man will not have enough capital. And if a godfather is doing this, investing this capital in ammunitions and drugs, and then using enough money again to buy leather bags and furnitures and all of this to cover all these things, you can imagine how much more they're expecting in return and how much, how lucrative that business is. And it's begging the question that, are we really ready for change in this country? Okiki and I said something yesterday about how they went to bomb some places in Borno State and how they used teenage girls. They used teenage girls to bomb like 4 major areas in Borno State. And it's a sad
Okay,
news.
I think I have that.
Yeah, it's a very sad occurrence, and I didn't like the fact that we keep going over the same thing over and over again. I also learned that all these northern places have mineral resources hidden in them. They are serious, top-notch gold, and oh God, I think
Bella?
we really have to go
It's
on
a
a short
lot.
break. For more details, please go to our different social media platforms. Let us know the story that catches your attention the most, and please pass on to comment, share, and like. We go on a quick break right now to return with a hot topic for today. And today we'll be talking about something very important and very sensitive to today's social media space. Please stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
So from a sovereignty perspective, from a, what I call it, a PR perspective, a brand image perspective, not to mention the security challenges, the modes of transportation of presidents is important. So the question is not whether they should have a jet. Yes, they should have a jet. If my president turned up tomorrow on a local flight, I would be embarrassed. So yes, we should have a private jet. The problem is, as it exists today, we already have a fleet. There were planes before, right? So the question is about needing to purchase a new one, right? And I keep saying that the management of the image of this administration is one that could be better, could be handled better, right? When we want to get things done, they've shown us, this administration has shown us that they will get it done. It took one speech to remove fuel subsidy. It did not take them how long to pass new national anthem, right? So you keep validating the perspective that you are disconnected from the reality of your citizens. Absolutely. And that is a problem.
If the foundations be
It's
bad,
faulty, what can the
righteous do? How do we start amending the foundation? And you talked about the Constitution. We've had so many constitutional amendments back and forth, and half the time they're for personal interest and not about we the people. So how do we go about it? Because you've also said we don't have the people. So how do we manufacture
You
them?
see, the collective ignorance in Nigeria is legendary, underestimated. People don't know, right? You see, it doesn't matter how determined you are. A billion fools coming together sincerely to take an action will take a foolish action. It doesn't matter how many they are or how they feel, how much they hate. Determination is not a strategy. Neither is anger, right? People have to learn to subject their feelings to reasoning and allow those reasoning to be guided by truth before they move to action. There's a lot of movement going on in Nigeria, but 99.9% of the time, it's a movement of emotion to action. The reasoning and truth is missing within the gap.
And no strategy.
Now, when you have a critical mass that are terribly ignorant, fearful, and opaque, you see, you have to understand the character of the Nigerian. He is extremely hopeful. Extremely hopeful. Now, anything you are willing to tolerate will never change. Never.
The fact remains, I agree with Uwa, honestly, I agree with you, that the responsibility of ensuring the protection of our children within the school system is in the hand of the parents. If the parent fails, nobody is coming for our children, the government is not coming for our children. You can see what is going on. What is the position of the Federal Ministry of Education and the institution responsible for universities in Nigeria? In the case of Ajenipa University, are they issued a statement? Are they issued a statement in respect of Veritas? They've not. They are not interested. So when we keep putting our faith in the hands of people that have shown through their ways, their character, that are not interested in governance, but in their own pockets, in the way in something, in things that work for them. Why do we want to pretend?
So that's why I said I totally agree with you, right? That what is it that the National Assembly is going to do? What applicable laws do we need to amend? What are the things that, because it's one thing, I like what the caller said. You can't just ask for things that are achievable. You can't just make, if you come to the table and you say you want to have a conversation, you come with reason. The numbers that are being requested, there's no sustainability in it. There's no basis for it, because you pay a salary on the basis of value. Am I getting 494,000 naira worth of value out of you? No. Am I getting 250,000 naira worth of value out of you? No. If you think you can get that value, go somewhere else and go and get it, right? So let's be clear. Even when we say let's go to the National Assembly, let's be clear on what we're asking for. Even if you go and, that's why I said I don't know whether the protesters themselves will survive it, because you just can't go and constitute a nuisance somewhere and think that is why somebody is going to listen to you. If your child does that to you, you beat the hell out of the child.
Glad to have you back. In case you're just joining us, this is West Breakfast hashtag. What are you saying? And like I said before we went to that short break, I said we are going to be talking about something very important to today's social media space. Right about now, social media space happen to be a little bit toxic on some days, a little bit full of dragging on some days, cancel culture left and right. And today we are going to be addressing cancel culture and how it has impacted our generation. Cancel culture has undeniably made a significant impact on our generation. I mean, influencing how we now navigate social media interactions, how we now consume social media and public discourse. The heightened awareness of cancel culture while fostering positive change has also led to increased scrutiny of individuals' actions and words, sometimes resulting in rapid negative public judgment. Joining us to have this conversation, how cancel culture has impacted our generation, is a brand communicator and event manager who is passionate about living intentionally. She enjoys being a poet, she loves communicating and she's passionate about our event and brand management business. Her name is Victoria Ajenipa, one known as Mama Sita. Good morning to you, Mama. Glad to have you on the show.
Good morning. How are you? I'm fine. Good
How have you been? I was supposed to be a friend of the house, but so today we're going to talk about how cancel culture has impacted our generation. In a way, cancel culture has been in existence for a long time because everybody in social media feels like there are some things you cannot say because maybe their father owns social media sites, which I do not understand. Now, I'm going to mention a couple names so we can have a clearer understanding. During 2023 general elections, we have some people who came out to support the current president, and you know how people dragged them, that even up until now, people still say hateful comment. I think recently they picked up someone that wrote a hateful comment. Now, during the death of Mohbad, may so rest in peace, Nigerians also didn't take it well. They cancelled some people. They cancelled an entire record label that if tomorrow they should sneeze on social media, the comments shall be full of hateful comments, right? They've literally cancelled them. And it begs for the question, do we really need cancel culture in Nigeria? And then, yes, we all make mistakes, but do you think anybody should be cancelled because of what they've done or what they've posted on social media?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for that question. Generally, I think it is also an instrument of caution. I think because Nigeria is a very delicate country, you can't get justice if you are not influential. Even if you have the money and you are not influential, you are almost like the masses. So why cancel culture in its entirety is not directly good, that is one of the instruments we only have. For example, stating specifically about Mohbad's case, he needed help. He cried for help. In a sane country, he would have gotten help. Even he might have died, but you would have gotten some kind of help to maybe stop the issue the way it went. So I feel like cancel culture is some tool to regulate our society, not because it is perfect, but because that is one of the things we have. In a working system, maybe we would not have to use that.
Okay, so I hear you on the benefit part, right? But I beg to differ because I feel like the disadvantages are more than the advantage. I understand that it's here to caution whatever that is put out, but have you looked at the flip side? We are losing money because imagine an influencer, for example, that comes out. I understand that, he's here to caution whatever the person puts out, but that person is losing money. And trust me when I say, when one person spends, that money circulates. So one way or the other, the disadvantaged part is economic side also would reduce, take it or leave it. Now, how do we balance it? How are we able to, in as much as we are trying to caution people, the truth is, I don't want to talk too much on this table, honestly. Because you cannot tell me that we are even using cancel culture and somehow we still have people that post all the things they want to post.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But I understand, Joe, when you say it kind of cautions whatever that is put out. Even though me, I know that it doesn't caution anything. But let me just hear you. How do we balance it, the benefits and the drawbacks? Yeah.
Okay, genuinely, there are bad results of cancel culture because also a lot of people they just go with the flow. They might not even for example, we have had recent weddings in Nigeria, and everybody has something to say, and it is ridiculous. So yes, there should be some level of caution even for the cancel culture. However, I believe that the best way to balance it is to have every part of the country doing their job, teaching the right things. There's issue, there's the agency I want to report to, and they listen to me, and I know that they are not biased. Okay, the example of the election you made earlier, I like it specifically. I don't think we need to dwell on the people that maybe made a political choice. Because yes, they made a political choice, but now we are all going to enjoy or suffer through it. Yeah. So dwelling on the past is not ideal. However, there's also an advantage of them talking about it to people that did this and brought it to us, because now you see people complaining that, oh my God, this is worse than the previous administration, and you see people bringing that, oh my God, you said you would enjoy this administration. So I like the reminder, the consistency of the reminder, because it will ensure nobody suffers amnesia through the 3, 4, or 8.
Oh, it's true.
Because it was the amnesia that was happening that made them make those decisions. However, while we are reminding them that this might have been a bad decision, we also have to be strategic. What are we doing to avoid the occurrence? So while we can caution, there should be a balance, because your caution, the reason why you're cautioning someone should not be just to put it in their face. It's not like I said so or I told you. In fact, some people are even ridiculous saying that, oh my God, I want to suffer so that you suffer. That's stupid, because I don't know how long do you want to live your life for? All of us in 8 years will be older women. So we better make money, live well. Before then, there's no advantage in suffering because you want to prove a point. So I agree with you that there has to be a balance in cautioning or calling anyone out. The point is to be to correct and not to show off that I was right.
I like the fact that you're able to point to both the good side and the bad side. Remember, let me ask you, have you ever been dragged on any social media space before? Because I know you're active on social media. When it comes to social media presence, you have a shop there. So have you ever been dragged before?
I wouldn't say dragged. I would have said I've been... Personally, I don't think anyone can drag me.
Okay.
Why?
I love it.
My name is Mamasita.
Hey!
E for energy.
I didn't tell you.
Because the reason why you feel like you're dragging me is because I permit you to drag me. You're talking.
I'm trying to digest it.
I feel like everyone have an agency.
Okay.
Because you act a particular way. I came in, I say hi. Then I came in, hi. I said, hi, I'm purifying my space. I am not, my hi is not dependent on you. Your reaction, even though I might know that it might be good or bad, I decide if I'm accepting it. I say as a person, I'm a very friendly person. However, I have unimaginable levels of boundaries. I can see you and be all happy. And when I don't want to talk to you, I can see you, look at you, and carry my face. I'm doing with my chest. It is not about you. And be like, oh my God, what happened to her? Some people cannot believe that I can ever be annoyed because they see me and, oh, Mama, do you ever get annoyed? Or go to my house, they'll tell you, this is like thunder, she's a warrior. So back to your question, I feel like the power for anyone to do anything, you have to have given them. Online, I'm very active on Twitter. If you say nonsense on my post,
You collect.
no, I will mute you. I don't see you.
Oh, wow.
I don't fight with broke people. Mentally broke, financially broke.
Come on.
I don't waste my time. So when I give you my time, it's because you deserve it. So when I mute you, you said, oh my God, look at her. She did this, she said this. Oh my, I didn't see it. I see it, I didn't accept it. And I did not give you the power to make me annoyed.
Right. Okay, the reason I asked, sorry, the reason I asked that question was because I wanted to relate it to cancel culture.
So there was a time, I don't know, a lady, I know, it has been a while, she was talking about, side chicks and wife. So she did like a write-up. So she did, you took somebody's husband, you made another woman sad. I would say I don't write, but obviously I'm a writer because I'm a poet. And I just think, I don't know, maybe over time I'll write. I'm just investing my time in what is practical at the moment. So I also took time to respond to her thread. So my point was, you did not marry a child. You did not marry a fool. Why are you depending on somebody that did not say I do to keep your marriage safe? So a lot of people, even those that are, actually sleeping with the married men, they'll come online and be posturing. Oh my God, you said this. I said what I said. The person outside there's no perspective where the side chick will be wrong. Because what if she's a polyandrist? And it is so funny that a woman would cheat, whether with a married man or a single man, and nobody bothers about the man. They're like, how dare you cheat? But when a woman does anything, why are you spoiling another woman home? Do I know her from madam?
I mean,
If I know you and you're my friend and you respect that and you're my sister, definitely that's a line to not cross. But why do you think because you married a woman, I should think about a woman? I saw you, I like you. What's up?
Okay.
I love the
To be honest, I love how the conversation is going.
So it is on the man, to say, oh my God, I'm in love with my wife. I can never see you. So for the woman inside to think, oh my God, another woman took my... You should be talking to the person that you chose. So that particular tweet, a lot of people came, as I say, I don't feel drag. I was hearing their opinions. Oh my God, this is bad. I could have been a polyandrist.
I mean...
The same way, so why should I think about that? I'm not stealing. I like what I see. I want to take it.
Okay.
Awesome. Like I said, the reason I asked the question, have you ever been dragged before, is because of social media space.
Yeah.
In a way, I've been dragged before, but not like on X, and it wasn't a good feel, to be honest. So it wasn't a good feel. Now let's bring it back to cancel culture. Cancel culture doesn't just start like, okay, today we are canceling this person. It starts by first dragging the person. Dragging the entire universe of the person. In fact, going as far as bringing old posts, tearing the person's family, dragging the person with family, friend, child, and all of that. And it's painful to read, not to talk of how the person being talked about is feeling. Now, let me use Sam Larry, for example, because I feel like is the worst hit at the moment. Yes, I would have mentioned Drew Worry Picking, because when she went for her surgery, they dragged her, and people are still dragging her. She's no longer beautiful, but now she has the body and all of that. But let me use Sam Larry at the moment. If Sam Larry should make a post on his story, the captions are always hateful. I wanted to make a sample, but I realized that there are too much hateful comments. If you should post on TikTok, the comments are, both in Yoruba and English, the comments are always very, very hateful. And in a way, we have cancelled him. Yeah. Do you think he actually deserves that? All these things are allegations leveled against him. There is no facts. There is no evidence. We didn't see him do what we assumed he did. There's no evidence that he actually did it right. Yes, there was a video that he came, but I feel like when we should go to the court of law, it's not evidence enough. Gospity said something the other time. She said, is cancel culture actually legal? And I said, I do not think it's legal, but I think it's like a social media punishment, which you end up mentioning. Now, let's use Sam Larry as a case study. Do you think he should be going through what he's going through? Because since I think Mohbad's death will soon be a year, that's if it's not a year already.
Okay. I think why we might not actually have any confirmation that anybody killed Mohbad. What we have evidence of is that they bullied and frustrated Mohbad. So I don't think there's a way to cancel, justify anybody. But I can see that we don't have a working system. So there's no closure for people. Right. And the weapon they have, the tool they have is counseling. Is it deserved? I really can't say. I don't like to personify people or take their just to hold their life to standard. However, I know for sure that because that have happened, a lot of people are more conscious of how they treat other people.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I think if Sam Larry, for example, it could have been my brother, would have been happy if he could got cancelled forever and ever. But I think there's a boundary to life where I feel like everybody should do what they do. Do what you want to do. For example, I enjoy being naked. I want to do my poetry naked. No, but people are like, oh my God, you're affecting the moral of my child. It is within your right to keep your child. Like, I'm not coming to your house. So I feel like there should be agency. However, there is a way you can infringe on people's rights, and that should not be crossed. You should not, like, even had to. Somebody, sorry to digress, somebody was talking online recently, say he feels like being beaten as a child helped him. He cannot understand why people are doing so many things. He feels like they are not beaten enough. And in many ways, some people agreed with him, some people disagreed. Personally, I think it is nonsense. You cannot beat a child to correction. Yeah. You can model a child to do something right, and in that, they would see the usefulness. Then if they don't still do it, it is not by beating them. The last time, there was a time my sister, my younger sister, really did something years back, and I really beat her. Like, oh my God, you should respect me. Don't say that thing to me again. And couldn't say anything because I was beating her. The more she was saying I was beating her. I'm not domestic violence creating myself. I feel. But over time, after the issue, I thought she was annoyed with me. Yeah. And I was happy that, but I just realized that I couldn't have beaten my younger brother that way. He would wound me. Right. Because he's bigger. I cannot bully him. So what I did to my sister was bully her. I didn't correct her. So I had to apologize to her. I'm sorry I did this to you. Yes, you did something terrible, and maybe you're not even sorry for it, but I have no right to make you feel that abuse is what you should take.
I think it depends on the level of beating.
You can beat a baby, like maybe spank a baby.
Okay.
But you cannot beat a growing adult into correction.
What age range?
I was going to ask, what age range?
I think definitely you cannot beat someone you should not be beating someone that is a teenager. You can correct them, give them punishment.
Mema, with my experiences, the hardest stage of a child's life is the teenage age.
Because you're always curious.
Apart from the early 1 year crying age, the most difficult life in a child is that teenage age, because they are too curious. They want to try everything. They don't know what thing is wrong.
They're not listening to you.
But the idea, I'm all for correction. Okay. But correction is not just by beating. And also, when you want to beat, there's a way to beat. A lot of our society, you beat out of. No, you can spank your child. Yes, as they grow old, you want to know that you can undo them.
What about backhand slap?
Nah, that is you. that is you. That is just you training the child to know that abuse is normal, because it goes beyond you. Their teacher beats them. I have a baby sister. She's just 4 years old. Okay. Anything that happens in school, she come and tell me. And she knows, she's so bold. She knows how to defend herself. And she's going, I say, all right, baby, behave yourself. Okay, Mama, I will not beat anybody.
Okay.
That's what she will say, because I know that she likes to, she grew up, all of us are adults, she's only baby. So she grew up trying to be like us. So in the class, she's trying to, be that authority. So don't beat anybody's child. Okay, I will keep my hands to myself. So I feel like as we want to correct children, my father is late. There's a way he corrects us. My mommy is bitter. But now, in every situation, in every decision, I hear about my father more. I listen to him. He corrects you. If he wants to beat you as a child, it takes to speak and try to use it to hurt you for as long as possible. Then tells you what you did. You kneel down. He says different proverbs.
Sorry, Mema, we have to really take a quick break.
Okay.
We have to go on a quick break right now. When we return, we are going deeper into the cancel culture, because it's getting very interesting right here. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly. This is still West Breakfast, hashtag what are you saying? And we are still talking about how the impact of cancel culture in our generation. We are still speaking with Mema. If you have one or two things to say about this current topic, please go to our different social media handles to make your opinions known. Are you for cancel culture or you're against cancel culture? Now let's dive deeper into the conversation, Mema. You talked about something the other time, and I like to ask that. Does it work? Because then we canceled Naira Marley too. That in fact we don't want to see his picture anywhere. I think this year he made a post that Malians. Some people now replied that who are still Malians, who are still doing Malians, right? But he released a song recently and it's trending right now on TikTok. And I'm asking, I thought we in a way canceled Naira Marley. Why is it that he did a song and now there's even a challenge for the song? And I'm asking, okay, is it that we Nigerians we don't know how to cancel? I think I screenshotted the tweet or something. Is it that we don't know how to cancel totally, or we have a forgiving spirit? Okay, the song is not bad. Let's listen. If it's him that we cancel, it's not the song that we cancelled.
Okay, the truth is, yeah, sometimes it is. I don't know if it's easy, but you want to separate the artist from the heart. However, you also like the heart because of the artist. There's a particular musician I love so much. I love the song. Like, this is me. This is the song. But yeah, I don't want to mention him. But he did some things in the past.
Can I mention on your behalf?
You don't know. That would you know?
I mean, I can guess.
Okay, I'll try to not make you able to guess.
So, yeah, I got the hint.
So he did some things, and now there are times I listen, but I don't see myself as a music lover anymore. So I just like, oh my God, it's not bad. But before, I was addicted because I felt like I connected with this person. I liked this vibe.
It was very relatable.
Yes, but the things he didn't stop his song, but it changed his personality to me. So I feel like the reason why cancel culture is also a thing is because people live different lives. And that is the shock that comes with it, that I thought this person was this. Okay, there was a time specifically, I'm going to mention this because I think the person was able to move past it and he did something to fix it. During NSAS, I was very active during NSAS, letting get out of those things. So one boy then, I think there was a time he said something that, oh, what are they really doing? And people like dragging him because, are you not the African giant? So how are you not
supposed to know? Come on.
So I think he had like a mood thing. Then over time, you're like, okay, I'm supposed to do this. Then he committed to, supporting NSAS, putting it everywhere. So I feel like the reason for the initial attempt to cancel him was because you're supposed to be this. You're always singing for human rights. This is your time to shine. Why are you shaking? So that was a shock for people. But I really appreciate and love the fact that he was able to call himself to order and fix it. And that's not something a lot of people do. A lot of people don't have boundaries, especially when you are being fed by social media. You feel like you're on top of the world. You tweet like 1 million people. You're a boss. You're an authority. So a lot of people don't know when to stop. And that is also something I relate with the political class of our nation. I don't think they are all bad. In fact, I don't think they are bad. I just think that they don't know how to call themselves to order. So cancel culture in our part of the world is not something that we should encourage because, for example, they can actually affect a lot of people. Some of us might be strong. It is not something that we want to say, oh, you should not just let people cancel you. You should be strong. We should have some kind of, attempt to regulate it. However, I don't think the idea of regulating social media is the right way to go. So I think when we do the right thing, say the right thing to ourselves, and also have functioning agencies, we would not really give ourselves or need cancel culture.
Okay, so I feel like we've talked so much on the entertainment angle.
Okay.
Politically, do you think cancel culture is actually needed? Because somehow I feel like our politicians, I feel like they don't know the right things, or they are just not doing it. And it's just few persons. It's not until we have a massive issue. That's the only time social media activism will not come in. Everybody's not using the whole hashtag thing. But when there's other small tribal issue that we actually, they are not even tribal that we need to talk about, I feel like somehow it's not spoken about, right? And let me give you an example of this bomb, whatever. to be honest, I can tell you that not everybody knew about that thing that happened, right? And that is actually a major problem.
Yeah.
How do you use teenage girls that are supposed to be in school? Now, let me also give an example. In my mom's shop, there's this people that stay at the front of the shop to like beg, right? For every time that my dad is always around, because literally my mom has had that shop right from even before I was birth, right? So for every time that we see them there, my dad is always saying one thing, that they are here because of their leaders. Because their leaders have refused to train them, their leaders have refused to help them, their leaders have everything, their leaders. So I feel like this, since this is one way of making sure that policies are put in place and making sure that people don't just come out and say anything they like. I feel like we should also be imputed seriously in the, since it is well hold on when it is in the entertainment space, right? You've talked about how many people today that have been cancelled, but I cannot even count how many people has been cancelled. Maybe Dino Milai, but which other person can I call and say, okay, this person actually has been put in other? Do you get what I mean? So I just want to hear you on that.
I think it is a strategic reality.
Okay.
Just a perfect example you made. The reason why we have this political mess in this country is because of intentional decision to not let people evolve.
Okay.
And this is a weapon that the political class use against the system. In fact, they use it for the rich and use it for the poor. Because the rich don't want his money to stop coming in. Yeah. So you find out for different issues, people that should talk are not talking. Because if they talk, their business gets taken away from them. So in many ways, they're not really different from the masses. Somebody was telling me that, do I know that even the rich, they support particular bad people and bad decisions. And I cannot just tell him that it's because of money. It is because they already have money. A lot of people might have cash, but they are not wealthy people. Yeah. They are rich, but they are mentally poor, and they live their life in attempts to keep finding riches because they are nothing without it. Yeah. So even though they have 500 billion in their account, the calculation is, if Naira become 10,000 to $1, I'm Zambroko. Let me not let this politician go. Let me support his policy because, So their life, they might look rich, but they are poor actors. They are poor people. And that is why we have the mess that we have. But going back to your specificity of your question, the political class will not be cancelled because a lot of their life is connected to us. So who wants to cancel the person that gave his father the money to pay his school fees?
Mema, I'm so sorry to cut into your stream of thought.
Yeah.
The politicians should not be cancelled, but Toya Ajenipa right can be cancelled. But Eniola Badmus can be cancelled. But Ebun Oloyede can be cancelled because he supported these people. So why are we not cancelling the men?
No, I don't think the politician cannot be cancelled. Most of these politicians, the reason they have an office is because people took them to the office. In fact,
people took them or they went by themselves.
They cannot go. We are more powerful than these people. We are many. So the fact that maybe a stupid person can be leading a particular area is not because he is able to. It's because the smart people took him there.
I agree on that one.
Why they took him there could be for anything. And yes, it is good. The weapon of cancer for those particular people you listed, because they influence for them at everybody's expense. So what how will I put it? The good part, there's a bad part, there's a good part. The good part of it is that I believe that before they do the same, they would think first, not because they cannot support the same person, but maybe the particular ways they influence, they would adjust it.
So are you saying that it's their fault? Right. Because look at Tony Abraham now, right? Someone recently dragged her. Yes. We'll have that discussion probably later. But I mean, just like she said, how do you not go straight to the main culprit? How do you not go straight to the person that is not even doing the job? And you not come to me that probably, me too, I'm like you, and I just felt like, the way this man they talk is intelligent, and somehow he might just take us to the
Next
paradise. Do you understand? And then you not come for me. It's have to go to the main person. How does that work?
Okay, the main person, first of all, I think I've said the main person does not have that large following that voted for him. It is the influencers that they use. However,
Okay.
Nigeria is not in a democracy.
Yes,
I'm sorry, remember, I would have loved us to continue this conversation, but we really have to wrap it here because we have to analyze a book. Every time on the show, there's a book segment where we analyze books by authors, and at the moment, we are analyzing the book Unbroken by Tosin Eniake. So I'll do a quick review of this book, and then I hope that you find interesting to read it. So this book is about Shalewa, who has always wanted two things in life: to achieve her big dreams and to pull her family out of poverty. In her early teens, she puts a lead on her emotions with a no boys, no book rose. While at the university, fate brings Funsho into her life, and Shalewa sees that rules can be bent, perhaps even broken. They tied the knot after many years of dating, but what was supposed to be happily ever after begins to fall apart like a poorly stitched seam. Now, let me just explain a little bit because I've read the book. Shalewa came out from a very poor background, and because her family was very, very poor, her father was not the working type, the mother was the working type, but they were really, really poor. So she told herself that she's going to ensure that she reads a book and then become the top in her career path. And she did. She didn't want to date anybody. You know, I said no book, no boy policy. She didn't want to date anybody, but then when she got to uni, from UI, they went to OAU together, and then they started a relationship. So now the problem started where they got married. She was acting like the man because she was scared of poverty. She was scared of the failures her mother. She was scared of the mistakes that her mother committed. And I'm going to ask you this: do you think our background, our upbringing, our childhood should affect us in the future or affect the way we think things? Or should it be done moderately, or should it be, let's say it's like a level, should it be like this or should it be like this, or like, you get?
I think our upbringing, our environment, our society directly influence us.
Definitely.
However, it is up to us to choose how we want to be influenced. My dad used to say a proverb that your parents will give it to you, you will rebirth yourself. So you are directly responsible for who you eventually choose to be. However, a lot of people just stay in who they were born to be and enjoy blaming the system. At a point, you become the system.
Yeah. I agree on that, honestly. Because, I mean, your environment is where you grow up. That's where you get that's where your values start growing up from. That's where you get everything that you know, everything that you believe in. So definitely it has an impact in you. But just like she said, I feel like as you keep growing, you tend to see other things. You tend to you now know what is good and what is bad. So you pick the one you want and you move with it.
Once again, thank you very much, Mema, for coming.
Thank you
for analyzing our book.
I enjoyed it.
The book is still Unbroken by Tosin Eniake, and we'll still keep reviewing it day in, day out till we change the book too. Because the next book already is politically inflated. I don't want to spill the cards. I don't want to spill the details yet, but then, Mema, on a final thought, what do you have to say about cancel culture? Should it be eradicated completely? I mean, let's abolish this entire cancel. Everybody has a right. The way you can speak on social media is the way I can also tweet on social media. I do not have to go through torture because I supported a particular person or put my family at risk. Because I'm very sure in the family lives of these people, their family are unconsciously starting to, okay, you put our lives at risk, right? So what is your take on cancel culture in like 10 seconds?
Okay, I think everyone should know, every adult should understand that their words have impact. And genuinely, you do not have to have opinion on everything. You do not have to give your 2 cents. You might not like it. And even when you do, please cancel or give your opinion respectfully. I believe many things can be true. For example, you mentioned Toya Ameko. She's an amazing actress. She made a bad decision. So why you want to also address, you feel like she particularly, I don't know, I do not say she made it, I'm just saying you are saying she made a bad decision. Why you want to address a bad decision? Let us know the line to not cross. So I don't think anybody gave anybody the agency of cancel culture. It is literally opinion we share. So while you share your opinion, let us know to respect people's boundaries. And also, the reason why you're sharing the opinion should not be because you want to prove a point or you want to bully. It is to also educate and, get the person to know that, this might be the consequences of what they do. So we should always do better in addressing situations.
Once again, thank you very much, Mema, for coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. God's beauty. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ella, for having
And
me.
you, our viewers, thank you very much for being a part of today's show. Let's do it again tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'll be leaving you with this thought. You as an adult, your words have an impact, and then let's respect boundaries. There are some boundaries that should never, ever be crossed. My name is Omoto Shola Sharamaki, saying see you again tomorrow. For now.